Okay, now let's talk about this eclipse that is happening April 8th, 2024, right? Now, I noticed that this eclipse will go over quite a few Nineveh in different states. Now we have Nineveh in Texas, Nineveh in Missouri, Nineveh in Indiana, Nineveh in Ohio, Nineveh in Pennsylvania, Nineveh in Virginia, Nineveh in New York, and Nineveh in Nova Scotia, Canada. That's a lot of Nineveh. The Most High is definitely sending a message. So, in order for us to understand this message, we need to find out about Nineveh. Now, we know Nineveh is mentioned in the Bible. The Most High told Jonah to go and speak to the people in Nineveh. Now, Jonah disobeyed. He was swallowed up by a fish. The account is in the Bible for you to go and read. Now, history tells us that Nineveh is part of the Assyrian Empire in northern Mesopotamia. So it's a real place. So in order for us to understand the message the Most High is sending, we need to find out what was happening in Nineveh. Now, one of the gods that was worshipped in Nineveh is Ishtar. And Ishtar is part of a set of god called the Anunnaki. The men who were priests in Ishtar temple, those men would have to assume a non-binary role. They have to wear makeup, dressed in women clothing, and were allowed to engage in homosexual act. That was the men. Now, Ishtar is said to be the goddess of love, war, sex, fertility, and political power. Now, she also allowed temple prostitution. Yeah, mighty colorful God she is. It is said that she is a guardian of sacred harlot and is described as having sacred priestess as prostitutes. It says sacred prostitution were where women would go to the temple and had sex with stranger in exchange for divine blessing. So those are some of the things that were happening in Nineveh, and it reflects what is going on in America in today's time. And one of the main things that is happening in America is the gross sexual debauchery. And we have our leaders that you all voted for that create laws that tell you that a man can marry a man and a woman can marry a woman. You have your leaders that create laws that prevents you from saying anything about what's going on. Right? They create the laws to bully you into submission to the mighty, mighty LGBTQ agenda. And this agenda is from the spirit of these ancient gods, especially Ishtar. We also have our children being part of this agenda that is inspired by the spirit of Ishtar, because we wrestle not with flesh and blood, but wickedness in high places, right? So we are wrestling with these ancient gods, these ancient spirits, and they are back. They are in America, and they are allowed to go unchecked, right? These agendas are allowed to carry on unchecked. We have a situation where our leaders, the leaders that you voted for, are creating laws to take children, to override parental guidance, to take children, right, to be cut, to take children to be castrated. 4-year-old children saying that they feel like they're a girl when they were born a boy. Grown men want to chest feed, right? And America, you will be judged. You openly celebrate your sin. You openly celebrate your shame. And you bully those who dare to have a different opinion, because the spirit of these ancient gods is taking over. And too much of you Americans sit quietly and allow this to happen. And America, you will be judged. And this eclipse is showing you what you'll be judged on. Go and do the research as to what was happening in Nineveh. There's a lot of information out here, right? Because when it comes down to this goddess Ishtar, you can go on and on and on about Ishtar, her cult, what happened. It's all there. And it reflects what is happening in America. Understand, these men that you voted for, they are the ones creating the laws to take away your rights. They are the ones creating these laws to push the LGBTQ agenda, because that was happening at the start and it's going to happen in the end. But guess what? Each time these ancient gods set up their LGBTQ kingdom, it always comes crashing down, right? It always ends in disaster. Please go do your research and understand what we're wrestling with, understand the spirit, understand what is happening. And America, you will be judged. So let us not get into our feelings when the Most High makes his move, right? We see you as you openly celebrate what's happening. We see you at drag queen story time. And you try to explain away this lifestyle, but it's not of the Most High. It is Antichrist, right? And they push it onto the West. And the church and the major religions, they stay quiet, while this is allowed to go unchecked. But America, you will be judged, and I'm here for it. And I hope all of you out there who are part of the LGBTQ movement, who are very rude and love to bully people, I hope you keep the same energy. I hope you keep the same energy when this destruction starts, right? We need to pray and say, glory be to the Most High.